We are working in partnership with the developer community to improve your Second Life experience, and our latest enhancement is the Materials project, which allows for more photorealistic textured objects with less geometric complexity. How? The Materials project includes a set of rendering improvements that more fully and richly describes the characteristics of how light interacts with surfaces to look like different materials. Science! Normal maps simulate surface details like bumps at far lower cost to performance and land impact than the equivalent geometry. Specular maps, along with their advanced specularity settings, reflect the light that is cast by the sun and local lights. Combined, these new features provide Second Life creators with a much greater ability to make detailed and immersive experiences with the effects happening live before your eyes. Next up, we're going to show you a couple compelling examples of materials in action, then a brief tutorial on how easy it is to use materials in your creations. Check out this katana created by June Dion of Bear Rose. If you look closely at the curved handle, as the lights go around, you'll see different levels of color and shine in the sword's reflection. What you're seeing now is midnight lighting, but what happens if you switch to sunset or noon? You'll see the intensity of the shadows and highlights change. Different lighting drastically alters the scene's mood. Remember that you must have a compatible graphics card in order to see the full benefits of materials. In your preferences, make sure that Advanced Lighting Model is checked. Beans Spad, known for his work on the Exodus viewer, created this cool example with combined materials features. The wallpaper has a subtle texture to it that responds to the way the light moves. The fleur-de-lis pattern is more glossy than the surrounding area due to its specular map. The ceiling has a nice molded look that responds to the light too. Without the normal and specular maps, both the wall and ceiling are actually flat. The jacket in the middle of the room showcases both normal and specular maps too. The seams, lapels, the decorative stitching, and in particular the folds of the jacket, which has some creases in it. Finally, the reflective cloth is shiny in the right places as you would see in a real coat. Instead of the old way of texture baking and static lighting choices, these material maps are dynamic and respond immediately to illumination changes. If you create content, take advantage of these new features now using any materials-compatible viewer. The following presumes you're already familiar with using graphic software to create texture maps for upload into Second Life. First we'll demonstrate how to add a normal map. Right-click and edit the object that you want to add the normal map to. Notice the land impact cost is 1. In the Build Tools window, click the Texture tab. Click the Texture Diffuse drop-down menu and select Bumpiness Normal. You may recall that for a long time, Second Life has had a limited and crude bumpiness feature. Materials opens this up to any custom normal map you desire. Click the swatch to open the texture picker. Choose a normal map texture from your inventory and click OK. The land impact stays at 1. Now let's add a specular map. The process is similar to normal maps. Change this drop-down to Shininess Specular. Again, click the swatch to open the texture picker. This time, choose a specular map texture from your inventory. Specular maps are stored as full-color textures with transparency, and the specular map's color tints the color of reflected light. So in this case, black areas are completely non-reflective, while white areas are the most reflective. Let's click OK again, oh yeah. And the land impact remains the same. You can change glossiness to adjust the reflectiveness of your specular map. You can also change environment to raise or lower the shininess of the entire object. Optionally, set a color to get the reflective look you want. This is all in 3D, so check out your object from different angles. Awesome! Want to learn more? We've rounded up tips, tutorials, and case studies on using materials in our Good Building Practices wiki. thanks to the many third-party viewer development teams, including Exodus, Firestorm, and Catsnip, for their important contributions and collaborations that help bring materials to Second Life. We're excited to see what marvelous stuff you make with materials.